Hey there, gang. Patrick King here, coming at you from, heck, I don't even know where I'm at right now. I'm in some town, I believe in Maryland, but I'm teaching for the next couple days in Nottingham, Pennsylvania at Straight Up Stables. So if you happen to be around and you want to come out and visit, always space for auditors. Again, that's Nottingham, Pennsylvania at Straight Up Stables here for the next 2 days. Anyway, today's question is coming to us from Leslie, and Leslie asks, when you're not the one who feeds them, how do you get your horses to come to you when you call them? I'm assuming in this case that Leslie's talking about being in a boarding situation, and so she's going out to visit her horses, maybe to work with them, and that's kind of how that's going. She's not the one to feed them, so how do we get their attention? So I'm going to think about this in a couple different ways. Number one, I'm going to think a little bit philosophically. A good friend of mine has a great way of saying it. He says, it doesn't matter what I think of your horsemanship. It doesn't matter what you think of your horsemanship. What's most important is how your horse feels about himself when he's with you. So my big question is, what can we do to be the kind of person that that horse wants to hang around? How can we help him to feel better about himself when he's with us? So a lot of that is about hang time, just kind of being there, chilling out with him, letting him be okay when he's with us. Okay, so from the philosophical standpoint, we want to be somebody that our horse wants to hang around. Another thing that I want to think about, and this is kind of give you an idea of what some of the things that I used to do. When I had a training operation, we had a pretty large herd of horses. I'd go out to catch one at a time. Particularly if I had one that was maybe a little bit tough to catch, I might catch him, whistle a little tune, maybe give him a cookie, right? It was never a bribery kind of a deal, but there was always something great in it for him. Maybe I'd just hang out with him and scratch him while he grazed for a minute or two, something like that. But I would always kind of have that little tune that I would whistle when I would go to catch the horse. And you know, pretty quick, all the kids come running when they hear the ice cream truck, right? So that would be a way that I was getting those horses to the point where they wanted to be caught. They would know after, you know, if they came to me or if I was able to catch them, after they hear that little tune, they either get some cookies, they get some scratches, they get some grazing time, that sort of thing. So that's something that I really want to think about. What kind of a bonus can we put in it for our horses? A lot of times we see horses that are a little bit tricky to catch or just don't really have much interest in their owners catching them if we're talking about a boarding situation. Because the owners catch them, they have to go to work. The horses work until they get kicked back out again, and then they get to hang out with their friends. So there maybe isn't much incentive for them to want to come and hang out with us. So that's what we want to think about. What's in it for them? We get the joy of riding them. We get the stress release of riding them, all those kind of things. But what does the horse get out of that deal? Is it more comfortable for him? Is it interesting for them? Are we taking them out doing interesting things? Are we just drilling them, you know, on their work? So we got to think about that. What can we do to be the kind of person that our horse would want to hang around? How can we help them to feel better about themselves when they're with us? And that's the key to helping our horses want to come to us, whether or not we're the one that feeds them. So that's going to be different potentially for each horse. So Leslie, it's going to depend on your horse there, but how can you help him to feel like he's the best person on the planet when he's with you? Okay, so hopefully that's helpful to you, Leslie, and to anybody else out there who's maybe wondering how you can get your horse more interested in being with you, whether or not you're the one who's feeding him. So, question of the day for you. Again, I'm assuming Leslie is boarding her horse, and that's where this question comes from. So the question of the day, do you board your horse or do you keep him at home? Give me the answers to that in the comment section below here. And don't forget, gang, you keep submitting your questions, and I'll keep talking about horses. Thanks so much.